This is what I feel like is one of the main ways you can know that that person is for you. My wife has provided me the first atmosphere I've ever had in my life that I've been able to be completely myself. Brothers feel like we just gotta be strong, cool, and swagged out all the damn time. All my silly comes out with my wife. Idiosyncrasies, peculiar habits, all of my vulnerability. Being able to cry over shit that I would have been scared to even admit was stressing me out in previous relationships. I can't let you see the chinks in my armor. The times where I don't know, I don't got it figured out. When I don't know how to solve our or her problems. When I ain't got the bread, there has never been a situation I didn't feel comfortable in the fact that I knew I would not be negatively judged for any aspect of myself. In that safety, I'm able to bring every ounce of my personality to the table. I don't even have to have the thought of putting a mask up. I don't have to second guess it. They just shoot to the forefront as they would as if I'm alone. If you can be around them how you naturally are around yourself. We got to section off different pieces of our personality to make our partner comfortable, to not be judged. A lot of work we have to do to be able to be with another person when we don't have this dynamic included. We go into the world and got to wear all these different masks, and then we come home and then we still wearing certain masks.
All right, so we here with another video, and this is an interesting one. We're talking about places of safety, providing places of safety between you and your partner.
You and your partner.
All right, what's your thoughts?
I think that that's supposed to be the most safest place that you can be completely yourself. No, like hiding yourself. And if you can't be completely yourself with your partner, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's a fact. I remember I heard a man of God, a preacher, say something like that. He was like, if he can't be the man that he feel he needs to be in his home, then he'll reduce himself to a version of himself that he's comfortable with sharing. And that's real deep. That's so true, because I've been there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been there. So like, have you ever felt like your partner, me, did not create a safety for you to bring your full self?
Yes.
Okay, talk about it.
It's very difficult to feel like you have to like reserve a piece of yourself. And there's been a time in our marriage that I felt like, you know, I couldn't be 100% myself. I had to like hold off a piece because I felt like maybe you wouldn't understand me, or maybe I felt like you would judge me. And that's just, it's difficult because you don't really have a place where you can just be yourself.
Okay, so what is it that actually challenging a place being safe? Is it pushback? Is it someone being overly critical of what you have to say, or anticipating rejection? What is it that actually makes a safe place unsafe?
I think anticipating rejection is probably, for me, probably the biggest thing. Or I'll say like not being on the same page. Like if we're not on the same page, it's already like we're not necessarily against each other, but kind of like at odds almost. I don't know. If like we're not in sync with each other, then it feels like if we're not in sync, then there's something that has to be held back.
Right. Yeah, that's good. I feel you. I think like anticipating judgment or rejection, like anything like that will make a person feel reserved and not want to share. I felt like that at times. I felt like, man, what is the point of saying this? They're not going to receive it anyway. Like, she's not going to understand where I'm coming from. So I just choose not to share it. But how does pulling back and not share it make the place any safer? It actually does the opposite.
It does the opposite.
It reinforces the idea that that place is not safe, for you and for your partner.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think for us, it's kind of like where we've had those seasons where it felt like, you know, it wasn't safe, is mostly because we weren't on the same page. And I think that once we found a common ground again, then it's like, it's almost like he said, it's almost like automatic that you can go back to being completely yourself. But I think for us, it's just the fact that if we aren't in sync, that makes it easy for you and I to like have to hide from each other or hide parts from each other.
Right. So what do you think is something that could help create safety in a relationship for people to feel free to share, like he was saying, where you could bring your whole self, it comes natural, you could bring the goofy side of you, you could bring the witty side of you, you could bring your corny jokes and all of that?
I think like communication, we always talking about communication, but I think communication is one thing because like, I don't know, in communicating with each other, that's where you can find a vulnerable place to feel like, you know, you can have this vulnerability with one another. I think that quality time would help encourage that safe place. I think that like having our own like secret thing creates the safe place because it's like it's exclusive to you and I, not for everybody.
Okay, you already talked about things that I did that made it not safe. Tell me something that I did that made it safe.
Having exclusive stuff that is just you and I. So like,
give an example.
Like when you have like certain like inside jokes and stuff, like it would be like it will only make sense to you and I. Like it wouldn't make sense to other people. Like if you say these certain jokes, it only makes sense to me and you. So it's like somebody else might think like, bro, that wasn't even funny, but it'd be like the funniest thing ever to me sometimes.
Okay, so me being funny helps you feel safer.
Yes, because if you be silly and you're being funny, like it makes it okay for me to be also.
Because you are silly.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's good. I agree. I mean, definitely when it comes to communication, listening. Even if you don't agree. Where did you just go?
I leaned back, my back was hurting.
She was like this. Like, so listening, just sit up straight.
Okay, come on.
All right, so listening is definitely something that allows something to feel safe. You know what I'm saying? Like even if you disagree, I don't expect you to agree with everything. I expect you to be like, you know, you're my wife, so I expect you to have some pushback on certain things and that we can come to a common understanding. So I'm not looking for somebody to say yes to everything I'm saying, but I do expect you to listen.
Yeah.
Because now if I listen, then at least I have the freedom of sharing.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm talking and you're not paying attention or you keep chiming in, butting in, asking questions, then I just rather not share.
Yeah.
I want the freedom to share. I'll give y'all this verse, and this is one thing I would say is Colossians 4:6. It says, let your conversation be gracious and attractive so that you will have the right response for everyone. All right. King James says, let your speech always be with grace, seasoned with salt. So when you think about grace, the idea of grace is actually...
It's all gone.
She's looking like duh. Grace is actually like a heart posture when you establish that you're for someone and not against them. The other idea of grace is that you share some type of benefit or you provide something to the conversation. So when it's saying let your speech or your conversation be gracious or seasoned with grace, it should be established when you're talking that you're not against the person and that you actually want to provide something beneficial to the conversation. Yes, the Holy Ghost. What you think?
And empathy.
Yeah.
Because I think that if you're empathetic to things that I share with you, it makes it much more easy for me to share more and more stuff with you. Like if you don't show no empathy to things that I share. Or, sir, if you act like you're not interested in the story that I'm telling you, I'm gonna need a yes, I know that's right, or something. So I'll know that it's okay to tell you. No, don't do that. Don't owe me.
So they wanted you to load the fax machine.
Don't do me like that, because then it's gonna be like, no, he's not safe. I can't tell him this because this is the part that he doesn't want to hear.
Okay, good. So that's something that we're practicing, and that's something that we encourage all of you out there that's listening to practice. Be in a safe place, because here's the reality. When you get with somebody, the main reason we got with each other is because we was like each other's escape from everybody else. Like, we could just be ourselves, we could just kick back, have fun, there was no pressure. And somewhere along the way you get busy, marriage becomes a chore, everything becomes a job, all you do is solve problems. And you lose that sense of like, yo, you my person, you're the one person that I'm at ease with, that I can fully be myself. I don't need to have armor, I don't need to pretend. And we should practice being that for each other. You got anything else?
Nope, I just 100% agree with that. So make sure that you prioritize your marriage or your relationship, because it's so easy to lose these things.
That's a fact. All right, y'all. Just another one. I hope y'all was blessed by it, and we catch you in the streets. Well, should I say that?
No, we won't.
What
No,
am I
we won't.
talking
We'll
about?
catch you on YouTube on the next one.
We'll catch you on the next YouTube. What am I talking about?